Well, there you guys are. Sorry, let me go back and so you can see the opening scene, but something happened. What is it? There it is. Here.
Sometimes a little bit lost gets a little bit found. You can lose yourself and your faith will come washing up on shore. And I've been here before, I think I've told you. Alright, starlight, say what you will, say what you want. I won't grow up, I will come around. Say what you feel, say anything. I'ma hold on till I can't let go.
Well, hi guys. So just before I was ready to hit the go live button, it disappeared. So I had to, yeah, who knows? But that's what happens when you go live. But we're there. Oh my gosh, Christine, you read MC Higgins the Great already? That's awesome. I'm so glad. Oh dear, Aldo quit, all those whimpering. Let me text Bob. Hang on just a second, you guys. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Sorry. There. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go back and check and say hi to everybody because yeah, we made it. We're here. It's good and everything's great. So Helen is here. Yay. And Linda. Christine's dropping in to say hello. She's got people coming tonight. Long weekend trying to turn your house into a home. I know that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Linda's checking in. So Christine read MC Higgins the Great. And that, I know, it was a touching story and very enjoyable. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's one of those. It was always a fun one to read aloud to the kids. And Tamara's here, yay! And I saw Larry's here. He's saying hi to everybody. Tried to eat some fried rice, but started chewing my own lips. Yikes! Oh no! Yeah, and just got home from a root canal. Is that why you're? Yes, that's not fun. I'm fine. Husband's birthday today and my kids took us out to eat. Yay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's awesome that you got to go out and have that fun time. It's always fun. Too late. It's no, Gail, you're not late. I had issues. I had to restart my eCam because it was like it lost the go live button, which is very strange. Hi, Roxanne. Nice to have you here. Someone new. Yay. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the story circle. Anyway, 6 days. Yes, 6 days. Oh, today I kind of just chilled and I thought I have to go do something, and Bob said, why don't you just sit and relax and enjoy the fact that you have spent an hour doing nothing? And I was like, oh, okay. So I did. I sat out in the front and just read and did nothing for a while. But yep, it's good. We've been packing and double checking and making sure. And I just didn't do any of that today. Tomorrow I probably will panic and do some more, but that's okay. Anyway, tonight I have some things to share. I have Julia's artwork came in, but there's one piece that didn't come up. So I don't know how I'm gonna, yeah, just for one piece, Julia would not come, and I'll keep working on it. We'll see for another week, but let's go and see if we can see some of Julia's things that she had for us. So she had it looks like a pour that she did the unicorns over, and then this cool one with the octopus and the sea anemones and all that underwater bit. That was very cool. Nice. And then it looks like these were some fabric projects. She did the a painting, and did you make the pillows too? But that's very cool. I love that. Nice. Yeah, Octopus's Garden. Yay. And then this was one that I could get up, but the other one I wanted to get up, and I don't know. I wonder if I can see if I can get it to screen share in such a way that it doesn't show. No. Let's go try, let's see. I'm going to try one other thing, because the other one, Julia, for some reason it wouldn't come in. So let's see if I can make it show up on a screen share. Okay, that's the author. What do I want to show? Don't want to show. How about if I show mail? Ah, there it is. Okay, just ignore all of my other stuff over here on the side, but this is the piece that she had that I couldn't get to pull over into the show, but that's the other one. Very cool. Yay, thank you, Julia, for sharing those. Now I gotta switch that, close that out, and go to here. And so this will be Google, and it will be this person. There we go. Now I'm all set and ready. Yes. So tonight I have a couple of cool books for you, and I'm going to start with one by Maribeth Boltz. And I'll pull up her site right here, but first I want to check what everybody's saying here. Yes, no more saying you can't do art, Julia. Did the clocks come in? Oops, hang on. Yes, they did. Did I miss the clocks? Where are they? Clocks. There they are. I knew there was more. There they are. And back to live mode. Okay, let's go to the clocks. There they are. There they are. There's the clocks. Phew. I was so stuck on that one that I couldn't get to come in that I forgot to look at the clocks. So look at these. Aren't they beautiful? That's amazing. I love that. All my ocean colors here. Very cool. All right, we got our clocks in too. Thanks. Yes, I got the clocks. They were there. So, yay! So it's great with this, with eCam, with this program. What I can do is, so even though there was one image in the email, I couldn't get it to open in my photos. I couldn't get it. It kept going like to blank. It was like it was a transparent. It was a PNG, but other ones were PNGs too. But it was like it was transparent. It was very strange. So that's why I showed it to you in my email. Push comes to shove, that worked just fine. So tonight's stories, though. Tonight, I chose the title of Something Given because there's two books that I've chosen. One is a fairly new book by Maribeth Boltz, and the other one is a classic that probably a lot of you know, but it's really a special book. So we're going to start with the one by Maribeth Boltz, and it's called Those Shoes. But she has this great, I love her, on her website she says, write what you know, remember and imagine Maribeth Bolt's encouraging children to read and write and pursue their dreams since 1985. And she says, I've been writing stories since kindergarten and began writing for kids over 25 years ago when my own children were young. Lots of picture books and 3 children, 4 grandchildren later. I enjoy not only the process of story writing, but also meeting kids and adults who like to write. There's no bigger thrill than a breathless 10-year-old who tells me, I want to be an author when I grow up. The excited look in their eyes reminds me of that doing what I love to do and learning how you're uniquely wired is what makes work interesting, fun, and rewarding. So true. And she had lots of different things. She loves books, natures, all kinds of things. Here's some of her books. A Bike Like Sergio's, Papunzel. She did these step into reading books, Sleeping Bootsy and Doggerella. Those were always popular in the school. P.S. Brothers is a chapter book that came out that was a Washington Children's Choice book honored. It's not a picture book. It's a great, the kids really enjoyed it. Before You Were Mine, just some really good books. But the one I'm reading tonight is called Those Shoes. Yeah, I think, yeah. You guys all remember, I mean, and it still apparently still happens, when it became really popular to have the shoe, the one to wear. And it's, you know, it's still that kind of thing. But what happens when it happens to some kids and they take it to a different level, and how it turns around? And that's what this story is about. Those Shoes. And the illustrator, I was going to tell you who the illustrator was before I get started. It's well, he doesn't really have a website. It's by Noah Z. Jones, and he's an author, illustrator, animator who draws all sorts of wacky oddities out of his own home. After taking part in a monster drawing contest in 5th grade, placing 4th out of 5. He realized that he wanted to create art for a living. His unique art and designs have added to numerous and winning projects from clients such as Nickelodeon, PBS, and Disney. His crazy web-developed characters have attracted worldwide recognition. He has some web characters called fishhooks. The fishhook are in a TV show. I'm not sure what it is. Ability to change styles both digitally and with traditional pencil drawings demonstrates an unusual stylistic versatility. His books with Candlewick Press, Not Norman, and The Monster in the Backpack, Those Shoes, and the Bed and Biscuit series, each with a different author, show his ability to approach every story with a fresh eye. And the illustrations in this one are done in watercolor, pencil, and ink, and were assembled digitally. Those Shoes. I think I want to switch to this. Yes. Buy these shoes. I have dreams about those shoes. Black high tops, 2 white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no room for want around here, just need, Grandma says. And what you need are new boots for winter. Brandon T. comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. I was always the fastest before those shoes came along. Nate comes to school in those shoes. Antonio and I count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall real slow. Next, Alan, Jacoby, and Terrence get a pair. Then one day in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Looks like you could use a new pair, Jeremy, Mr. Alfrey, the guidance counselor, says. He brings out a box of shoes and other stuff he has for kids who need things. He helps me find the only shoes that are my size. Velcro. Like the ones my little cousin Marshall wears. And they have an animal on them from a cartoon I don't think any kid ever watched. When I come back to the classroom, Alan Jacoby takes one look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes and laughs. And so do Terrence, Brandon T., and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfrey." I nod and turn my back. I'm not going to cry about any dumb shoes. But when I'm writing my spelling words later, every word looks like the word shoes. And my grip is so tight on my pencil, I think it might bust. On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money set aside. Might be enough, you never know." At the shoe store, Grandma turns those shoes over so she can check the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. "Maybe they wrote it down wrong," I say. Grandma shakes her head. Then I remember the thrift shops. What if there's a rich kid who outgrew his or got 2 pair for Christmas and had to give one of them away? We ride the bus to the first thrift shop. Black cowboy boots, pink slippers, sandals, high heels, every kind of shoes except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift shop. Not a pair of those shoes in sight. Around the corner is the third thrift shop. I see something in the window. Black shoes with 2 white stripes, high tops, perfect shape, $2.50. Those shoes! My heart is pounding hard as I take off my shoes and hitch up my baggy socks. "How exciting," Grandma says. "What size are they?" I shove my foot in the first shoe, curling my toes to get my heel in. "I don't know, but I think they fit." Grandma kneels on the floor and feels for my toes at the end of the shoe. "Oh, Jeremy," she says, "I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit." I pull the other shoe on and I try to walk around. "They're okay," I say, holding my breath and praying that my toes will fall off right then and there. But my toes don't fall off. I buy them anyway, with my own money, and squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. At home, a few days later, Grandma puts a new pair of snow boots in my closet and doesn't say a word about my 2 big feet shuffling around in my 2 small shoes. "Sometimes shoes stretch," I say. Grandma gives me a hug. I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear my Mr. Alfrey's to school instead. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. After school, I head to the park to think. Antonio is there, the only kid who didn't laugh at me at my Mr. Alfrey's shoes. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoe smacks the concrete every time he jumps. I think, "I'm not going to do it." We leap off the swings. "I'm not going to do it." We race from one end of the playground to the other. "I'm not going to do it," I say. "Do what?" Antonio says, breathing hard. Grandma calls me for supper and invites Antonio over too. After supper, he spies my shoes. "How come you don't wear them?" Antonio asks. I shrug. My hands are sweaty. I can feel him wishing those shoes were his. That night, I am awake for a long time, thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat. Snow is beginning to fall as I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes on his front door, push the doorbell, and run. At school, Antonio is smiling big in his brand new shoes. I feel happy when I look at his face and mad when I look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. But later, when it's time for recess, something happens. Everywhere there is snow. Leave your shoes in the hall and change into your boots, the teacher announces. Leave your shoes in the hall. And then I remember what I have in my backpack. New boots. New black boots that no kid has ever worn before. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I smile and give him a nudge. Let's race. And that's those shoes. I love that message it gives about how good he feels by giving up something. First off, buying shoes that don't fit, but he gives it away to somebody, and that feeling that he gets. And I what I really like too about in the book is that it shows the struggle that he went through. Yeah. Hey, and Angie's here. Cringeberry, yay. People out there might be wondering why I'm not included in the list from Angie. It's because she doesn't like me. Oh, Larry, I think the Novocaine has gone to your head. You're silly. Yeah. He kicks when he sleeps. That's true. Oh, Larry, Sleeping Bootsy. Yeah, Sleeping Bootsy, Pupperella, and oh my gosh, she had Vans. Yeah, the Vans, those ones. Remember when Air Jordans? I mean, people, it's just the crazy things. Oh. Not cute Bootsies running, kicking. So I forgive him most days. Well, yeah, a good laugh is worth a lot of forgiveness. Anna, you thought you were Paul Revere, Julia. Oh my gosh. Oh dear. Well, I broke Bob's nose once. If we're going with those kind of things in my sleep, seriously, I leaned over, bam. Put my elbow into his nose. I flipped over in a dream, put my elbow into his nose, broke his nose. Yeah, that was not fun. And about 2 weeks later, he threw his arm out and hit me in the eye and gave me a black eye. Boy, if you don't think our friends thought we were in a bad situation right then. We're like, no. In our sleep. I broke his nose in my sleep and he smacked me in his sleep. Oh my goodness. I had a kid would get up and write. That's how I felt when I got my first pair of hush puppies. Oh my gosh. And what was the other ones? The one with the little Dutch boy on them. I can't remember those. Now, I'm going for shoes. Buster Browns. Yeah, Buster Browns were another ones. Holding the headboard. Oh my gosh. Saddle Oxfords in 3rd grade and hated them. Put my coat over them and scruffed them up at recess. They lasted forever. Yes. I would, and we always had to wear shoes that had closed-toed shoes, right? Closed-toed shoes, all that kind of stuff. And you couldn't wear sandals. Right before 4th grade started, I was riding my bike and I, reverse pedal braking type thing, old bike, and I came around the corner and Mom had told me not to ride barefoot. So I put flip-flops on, the old rubber flip-flops, the skinny little rubber flip-flops. Came around the corner and I was getting ready to head up the hill, going past, and my foot slipped off and dragged along the edge of the asphalt and the gravel right at the shoulder right by our driveway, and just dragged, and I went down. I screamed loud enough. My sister Sarah heard me, and we had a long driveway. She came flying out the front door. I'm in the middle of the road. The neighbors are coming, everything. I'm bleeding like they had to take me down, call Dr. Thompson, Dr. Zimmerman to meet him at the doctor's office, of course out in the country like this, and it took 6 shots of Novocaine in my big toe to take all of the gravel out of my toe, shredded it like halfway down. Big old taped up toe, it was huge, but I couldn't wear shoes. So the first day of school comes, and I go to school in sandals. And I'm the only kid who got to wear sandals at school. But because I'd ripped up my toe, that was my thing. Yes. Anyway, it's just not... Oh, Tamara, really? I might be coming for a month? That's awesome. I got my grandkids, watch them 2-3 times a week after school, and the youngest ones have 4. Yep. Grandkids are the best. Tam, about 89 miles. Okay, so been there, done that. Yes, yeah. What a price to pay. I know, what a price to pay. Oh, my sister still remembers me. And of course, what did we do? Because I lived out in the country, so Mom had to call Dr. Zimmerman, and my dad and Dr. Zimmerman had been buddies since grade school. Jim was pretty used to me getting banged up, but he was not home. He wasn't home or something. So Cliff Thompson was the other doctor on call. So but before they take me there, what does my mom do? Gets a bucket, like a big bucket, and the garden hose, and they're stuffing my foot into the bucket with the garden hose going, trying to get the bleeding to stop. And it's just turning red, and Mom's finally like, oh, we're gonna have to take her in. Dr. Thompson's meeting is there. Yeah, it was one of those things. It's one of many times that I ended up, house calls were common at our home, with me being the crazy kid that I was. Oh my goodness. So anyway, the next story, you guys, is, it's a classic. And I think that it's by Shel Silverstein. And you might have heard it, you might or at least seen it, whether you've read it recently or not. Who knows? But Shel Silverstein is an epic poet and done so many things. And now a story about a very strange lion. In fact, the strangest lion I have ever met. And that's how Shel Silverstein's very first children's books, L'Aficionado, the lion who shot back, started. His next book was the book The Giving Tree, which is the one I'm going to read tonight. And it's a moving story, as he says, about the love of a tree for a boy. But it took him a long time to get this published. He talked about the difficult time trying to get the book published. Everybody loved it. They were touched by it, and they would read it and cry and say it was beautiful. But one publisher said it was too short. One thought it was too sad. Others felt that the book fell between adult and children's and that it wouldn't be popular. And it took Shel Silverstein 4 years before Ursula Nordstrom, a editor at Harper Row, published it. And she even let him keep the ending that he had. But he has just done so many books. Light in the Attic, Where the Sidewalk Ends, his other new book, let's see, what's Don't Bump the Glump is new one. Everything on It, Falling Up, A Giraffe and a Half, Who Wants a Cheap Rhinoceros, The Giving Tree, L'Afsiado, The Lion Who Shot Back, A Light in the Attic, The Missing Piece, Different Dunces, The Missing Piece meets the Big O, Runny Babbitt Returns, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. He has on his website, he has these amazing learning resources that I used to use all the time in the classroom. You could do a celebration about his poetry, and there's teaching guides and everything for all of his books, and he's just such an amazing, generous. It's just always so much fun, and kids always loved to really learn his poetry. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out, and it was always a favorite one. And Iggle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too, Went for a Ride in a Flying Shoe. I used to know tons of them, but today I'm going to read The Giving Tree. And it's, like I said, it came out in 1964, was it? Oh no, it came out before that. Anyway, it's been around, and it's a wonderful book. And I hope you enjoy it. His illustrations are so beautiful and just so simple, because the message in the book is just as simply beautiful too. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. I love how the tree leans over the little boy. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree. Very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up into the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, come climb my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I am too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, and I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time. And when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I am sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I am very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy. Sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. Oops, there you go. There's me. Well, that's The Giving Tree. It is a book that I don't think I've ever had a class of kids that didn't want to hear it again. And then the discussion as they got older about all kinds of things, growing up, of selfishness, of giving, the whole opposite ends of it. It always, like all of Shel Silverstein's things, always can start quite the discussion. I never had a tree for a friend. I had a tree. I had a tree that was my reading tree. And it was an old apple tree that wasn't producing very well. And if you know anything about orchardists or people who have orchards for a living, if a tree doesn't produce or stops, it gets old enough and stops producing well enough, you cut it down, you pull it out, and you plant a new one in. It's as simple as that. We had hundreds of acres, and that's what Dad did. He gave trees just so long. It was our livelihood, and you had to make sure. But there was this one old tree that had this perfect like reading branch. And from the time I was little, I would crawl up in it with my books and had my spot where I could pile my books and I could sit and I could lean, and I would sit in that tree for hours and read from the time I was really little. Like I was climbing up into that tree when I was 4 and 5, dragging my books up there. And when I left for college, that tree was still there. Dad never cut it down because he knew it was my reading tree. And it was pretty cool to know that he kept it there for me, even long after. They sold that house after when I left for college and moved. Dad sold that ranch too, but he waited. They didn't move out of the house I grew up in or get rid of that ranch until the last daughter was out of the home, and that was me leaving for college. Yeah. So I had my own kind of tree like that. Anyway, I was always talking to my waffle tree. Well, kids, yeah, it is thought-provoking. The kids would get it. That tree before, yes, I did talk about that tree before, Angie, didn't I? It's kind of you guys bring memories back. It always comes back, and same here, Gretchen. My wattle tree had a branch the size of a horse. Nice, yeah. It was just the perfect way to sit in it. I had a tree for a friend. It was my helicopter tree. It looked like a helicopter, and I played in that tree for years. It had beautiful yellow flowers. I want a tree. Trees are awesome. They were so much fun. So much fun to be in those. Anyway, you guys, those were my stories tonight about something given. And, the giving tree gave everything and was still happy at the end. Talk about a lesson. And the little boy, yeah, his shoes, he gave them away and it worked out. Anyway, just something to think about. I love the giving tree, and I am glad I got to share it with you guys tonight. I don't know how many of you have ever read it before or heard it, but I hope if you hadn't heard it before that you enjoyed it, and then if you had, it brought back some good memories. Maybe so. Anyway, folks, that's it for Story and Art tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night with some more. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and it is tomorrow is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes, it is. I keep trying to rewind this week because I keep thinking, no, do I have everything all done? Yeah, it's all right, you guys. Thank you for spending time with me tonight and sharing these stories with me, and for coming in to the Story Circle and sharing all your own stories and having just this time together. I appreciate it. It fills my bucket. I hope it fills a bit of yours, and for giving your time to each other. It's awesome. So until the next time, folks, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you, and you know where to look. I'll see you tomorrow.
In the heat of the night,
oh, poor Larry. Larry's the Novocaines. project took it back.
I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than usual. Yeah, you don't even try, like amateur, typical. I put you on a pedestal.
Hey Roxanne, thanks for coming tonight.
There's not just stars.
Nice to have you here. Gail, good to see you. And Julia and Tamara and Larry and Angie and Helen. Julia, yep. I think I caught everybody. I know Christine had to leave.
I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous.
Yay.
We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous.
Oh, you guys are hilarious. Exactly.